A horse made a man king. Not a battle, neither a royal bloodline. A horse. But 2500 years later, historians still ask a different question. Did Darius become king because he was chosen by destiny, or because he understood power better than anyone else? In 522 BC, the Persian Empire was in trouble. The king was dead. A man claiming to be the king's brother had taken the throne, and nobody knew whether he was telling the truth. Most Persians had never seen the royal prince, so they believed the story they were given. Among the nobles watching this unfold was a young man named Darius. He wasn't the heir, he wasn't the obvious choice. He was a lance bearer, a man whose job was to carry another man's spear. But Darius saw something others missed. When people don't know what to believe, they follow whoever seems most certain. Soon, Darius joined 6 other nobles who believed the king was an impostor. Together they faced a choice: accept a ruler or risk everything. The 7 men entered the palace and killed the supposed king before the empire even knew a conspiracy existed. The problem was solved, and immediately a new problem appeared. Who becomes the new king? The nobles agreed on a strange test. At sunrise, they would ride together. Whichever horse neighed first would decide the next ruler of Persia. It sounded like fate, but according to legend, Darius had another plan. The night before, his groom secretly prepared the horse, and at dawn, before any other horse made a sound, Darius' horse neighed. The nobles saw a sign from the gods. Darius saw the throne. A lance bearer had become the king of kings. But here's the twist. That isn't why history remembers him. History remembers him because he proved he deserved it afterwards. Darius spent decades building roads, trade networks, government systems, and the city of Persepolis. He transformed Persia into one of the greatest empires in history, which raises a fascinating question. If a man gains power through a trick but uses that power to build something extraordinary, how should history judge him? Now, this may sound like an ancient history about kings and horses. It isn't. Because today people still rise during moments of uncertainty. In politics, in business, in social media, even in everyday life. When people feel confused, they look for someone who sounds certain. Not always the smartest person, not always the most qualified person, the person who appears most confident. Think about elections, think about startups. Founders raising millions before they have a finished product. The tools are different, the pattern is the same. People follow certainty, especially when they feel uncertain themselves. The false king ruled through a story. Darius defeated him with a better one. The horse ritual was visible. The groom's preparation was hidden. Together they created legitimacy. Act like a king to be treated like one. Darius was not born king, but he behaved like someone who belonged to the throne. Eventually, everyone else agreed. The most interesting part of this story is not the horse, it is not even Darius, it is human nature. People want certainty, people believe stories, people follow confidence. The name change, the technology changes, the empire change, but the forces that move people remain remarkably familiar. And that is why the history of Darius still matters. Because history is not a record of what happened, it is a record of what keeps happening. The battlefield changes, human nature doesn't.